compared to the public sector, I don't know if I was ever paid in equal forms and whatever. IPERS was definitely a benefit that swayed me in going to work in the state. And particularly when you look at teachers and those people in the public school systems, it's important for them for retirement benefits. And I think there's a threat both to privatize it for future employees and even a threat to those of us that have made that contribution to our retirement, that they're going to stop that or change it and reduce the amount of retirement. What's your theory on that process?
Sure. Number one, a deal is a deal. Period. If you've paid into IPERS, you should get what you have paid in for. And I don't think that the folks who put together, let me be clear, actually, let me start here. Let's acknowledge the people who were on the Iowa DOGE task force volunteered their time, and we should thank them for that, right? They have a couple of controversial ideas that I really agree with, or excuse me, that I really disagree with. Some of the ideas that they put together have got no attention are good ideas. They volunteered their time. But I do have a beef with the person who put together the task force, about how they put together the task force. What is that beef? You heard me say repeatedly through my life, I have sought to work with people who think differently than me. That entire task force is all people in one party, and then there's one independent. Of course they didn't have a full-time, lifetime public employee. No teacher, no firefighter, right? No emergency director for the county, ADO. He deserves a round of applause. I'm glad you gave it to him without asking. Those people weren't represented. And so instead, somebody over there was like, well, gee, these benefits look awfully generous for the pension. And no one was there to say, yeah, because we got paid less for a salary.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal. If you know someone who does public sector work, that's like part of the deal. You're like, well, yeah, I'm not making that much. I could go make more, but I want to have this pension later on. And so you can't tell me that's an efficiency measure to cut the pension, because then you're not going to have the people doing the work. Right? Also, this is one of the things that most frustrates me about this. These are people who are Iowans. They're just regular people, right? And what's the proposal? Well, maybe we should reconsider that deal to take away what they have earned. Do you know that they actually did reconsider a deal recently, but it was to give more money to the people that they had originally had their deal with? Would it shock you to learn that that was with a private company that administers the state's voucher program? It's called Odyssey. They're out in New York. They signed a contract with the state of Iowa, Odyssey did, to administer the program. And at some point, they decided to amend the contract. They literally, according to our calculations, are expected to get paid twice what they were going to get under the first contract. Do you know what terms changed in terms of what Odyssey had to do to get that money?
No.
Nothing. Literally nothing. Not a single word in that contract changed other than we're going to add these terms for the way you get paid. So a deal is a deal unless we can pay some special interest rates more, but a deal isn't a deal if we're talking about Iowans who have earned what they are owed. That's wrong.